can't do it. It's like you can't make a horse drink water. You can take the horse over to the water, but you can't make him drink. I can't make you learn anything. You have to desire it. You have to want to learn it. So I'm trying to tell you that every time you have a piece of work, it reflects the very best of you. You get so comfortable that it becomes a social thing. The class becomes a social thing. You're with your friend, you're talking to them, and you're not really trying the way I want you to try. In my time, when I'm here, you've got to put 100% of your energy into your work. To me, this is really valuable, the pencil, the quality of the pencil, the quality of the lead. How many different kinds of pencils, graphite and carbon, and all these beautiful pencils and colored pencils. A guy who has no money on the street, and that's another problem. You have too much money, all of you. You don't value anything like this. You know, today when I walked into school, I found 4 wooden pencils on the floor. So to a Mexican artist, when he finds a pencil on the floor, he goes crazy. He says, oh my God, look at this, I found a wooden pencil. To you, it means nothing. And that's sad. It's because of this computer age, this digital age that you live in, that you don't realize the potential of every one of these little pencils can make an extremely amazing work of art. Every one of those pencils can do a drawing of a face shaded in so meticulously by a Mexican artist, because the guy's got no money. He becomes so expert with a piece of graphite, a graphite pencil, and does a work of art, a drawing of somebody that looks like a photograph. It's drawn so beautifully, so shaded in so carefully. So to me, this is a tool, and like all the tools in my classroom, it deserves respect. That when you put a point on it, I mean, these look like a weapon, you know? These look like they're lethal. Like you could stab somebody and kill them with this thing, you know? But that pencil is a tool. And when you start your drawing, you start out very light. And Mr. Hochberg a long time ago told you, don't draw with your fingers. So when you're drawing, if you had proper art lessons, people that draw, they don't draw like this with their little fingers on top. They're drawing from here, from the shoulder. You draw with your body. So you start sketching very lightly and you develop the drawing, and then you've got a pretty accurate outline for what you want. You keep it light because an eraser can erase it. You hold a pencil like a crayon and push down, you make it so indelible, you can't erase the line. Keep it light when you start. Just because you're drawing jewelry, it still has to be 3D, and it shouldn't be drawn small. You draw a large, and then you go to a copy machine and reduce it 10 times, and it looks impeccable. It looks so beautiful. The mistakes disappear. The imperfections disappear. So that's, and then you present it to me properly with your handwriting, with care in your handwriting and everything. So it looks like you're a jewelry designer. And you'll see drawings that are just amazing. And it's, you know what it's all coming from? It's coming from respect. That the person realizes this is a tool. How you sharpen it counts. The kind of line quality when you bring your hand near the surface of the paper counts. The paper's expensive. The pencil's expensive in the right brain. But in the child's brain, nothing, you don't care about anything. You show little care to everything. I know that because I bought a bottle of perfume at the Emporium, and I watched the girl wrap that bottle of perfume. I was blown away. She didn't measure. She used little folds in the paper to act as measurements. She just took that bottle of perfume and wrapped it so gorgeous with her hand skills, with her respect. If you're going to be in my class, I want the people who respect things. respect silver, respect the drawing, respect the pencil. Okay? And if you start doing that, you will stand out in this life over every other kid in the world, because very few kids are like that. This is the first piece you're going to create this year in an expensive metal that in poor countries nobody can afford. In Africa, they're working with bronze because they can't work with silver. It's too expensive. If you want to do average work, go to day camp. Join the kindergarten. But for your age right now, each of you need to push yourself personally to do your personal best on everything that you handle in my class. So everything you make is like a work of art. When you're in here, I need 100% of your attention, not only for safety, but to develop really good work. So don't just make a bunch of shabby rings, and don't waste this 80 grams of precious metal at 2,000 baht. There's a time in your life right now. I know the social part of school and being with your friends and all of that, but there's also a performance part of school where you can get in there and perform like no other person in the class and give me some incredible work. The reason I made a book for you is I wanted you to act. How many of you actually looked at every picture in the book on each page and then made an informed choice of what you want to make? Okay? The hardest project in that book is a locket, where you have to create a hinge and the thing has to touch, and then you need a latch on it to hold it closed. That would really show me your metal working skills, and you know your locket's going to be quite small. I made one for my mother. This watch I'm wearing, I never wore it. I had it in a drawer, but it's so beautiful. It's an Elgin. It's 100 years old. And there's precision in it, like when you open it. So this is sort of a locket, you know. I gave this as a project to ISB kids, and they did pretty well. I have a picture in there of the locket project and all the kids that made lockets in my class. They worked on that locket for 3 months to make it close and snap when you close it. I mean, it's precise and it's beautiful. And those kids are now 30 years old. When I go in the bank and write a check out, I told you, the girl at the counter looks at it, I see her mouth open, she's going, oh my God. And she walks away from me, goes down to all the tellers at the bank, and she says, look at this man's check. Look at his handwriting. That's the way you should attract people like that, with your talent. People should find you skilled and amazing. Okay? And it's time to drop the jokes and playing around. And you're in an extraordinary classroom. This is the only classroom like this in Thailand. Now give back something in amazing work. Try to learn and turn out a piece of craft that just knocks people over when they look at it. I'm always demanding that you're paying attention to what you're doing, as now I'm trying to whip you into shape, into understanding what's required in this classroom. I don't want to get any average work out of you. I want exceptional work from everybody in the class. You hear what I'm saying to you? I'm very serious. You come in here and you work, and whether you have my attention or not, or I'm trying to bring up the newer people to your level, be polite, give me a chance to do what I'm paid to do, and at the same time, you take the ball and do something with it and make something. Sit there and give your full concentration. And some of you need self-control. You need to turn around to a friend who wants to talk to you and say, look, I'll talk to you at lunch. Let me get my work done now. But I can't make you drink water. You got to want to improve. You got to hand in things you're proud of. I told you in college, I had a teacher, a female teacher. She's famous. Her name was Mercedes Matter. I thought she was a little crazy. You know what she did? I'd be drawing. She'd come over to my easel and she put her hands on her hips. This is an older woman. And then she goes, "That's not what I taught you." And then she'd take my drawing. It was newsprint pad. I had a big newsprint pad. And she'd rip it up and just crunch it up and throw it in a garbage can. She said, "Start over." She would do that 3 or 4 times in 6 hours. I had a 6-hour class with her. She taught me to draw. At first, what was my emotion? It was anger. I thought she was a nutcase. And then I realized she was pushing me, helping me, you know? And I got used to her destroying my drawings. If I did that in a public school or in a private school like this, you'd think, why, the guy's, he's cruel, he's crazy. When you get into college, you learn to accept criticism without getting angry at the teacher. You know? But that woman, as crazy as she was, she taught me to draw. And now I respect everything. I understood it then too. Okay? And she didn't only do it to me. She would walk up to girls in the class and boys, other guys, and she would destroy their work. And we'd all laugh after a while, you know? She would just go crunch it up and just throw it out. She said, "Do something that's not garbage."